Epictetus, Musonius Rufus, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, all great historical figures, all great Stoics. Much of them threatened with death, threatened to be exiled, or even sentenced to death and sentenced to exile. And all of them accepted these things cheerfully. Seneca accepted his own death with his forced suicide. Musonius Rufus accepted his exile to the harsh desert island of Diaros, even saying it was the perfect place for him to practice his Stoic principles. Marcus Aurelius accepted his death. When his friends and family members gathered round at his bedside, he talked to them cheerfully as he knew he was about to die. And Epictetus accepted many difficulties in his life. And when his master, as he was in slavery, his master was bending his leg, bending and bending, Epictetus said, "If you bend my leg anymore, it will snap." And he carried on bending it. And when his leg snapped, Epictetus said, "What did I tell you? If you kept bending my leg, it would snap." And cheerfully, in many difficult situations in Epictetus' life, he cheerfully laughed in the face of challenge, in the face of death, because he had his Stoic principles. But how do you actually be like this? Because we hear these Stoic quotes, we hear these Stoic lessons, we see these viral videos on how to be Stoic, how to be unshakable. But these men truly were unshakable. They used Stoic exercises. And here are 3 simple Stoic exercises that will make you a stronger character, make you a better person, make you happier and more grateful for life. These are 3 exercises I've used in my life. I use them every single day, and they are life-changing. So let's get into 3 simple Stoic exercises that will change your life. Today's episode is powered by Huel. Huel is a quick, affordable, nutritiously complete food with everything that your body needs. So on today's episode of the Everyday Stoic podcast with myself, William Mulligan, as it's a solo episode, I'll be going over 3 simple Stoic exercises that will build you a stronger character like these great historical figures. It will make you more appreciative of life. It will help you take control of your life. So the first exercise is the contemplation of the sage. So this has many different names. I call it virtue modeling. And I wrote about this exercise in my book and how to do it, how it's changed my life. But I'll give you a brief rundown. Contemplation of the sage is this idea that the Stoics would think about the ideal Stoic. So there's this idea of the sage who is the epitome of Stoicism. But then you could run it down to thinking about such men as Marcus Aurelius did, like Socrates. Marcus Aurelius thought of people like Epictetus. And when difficulties sprung in their life, when Marcus Aurelius was faced with the death of his own children, he would think, what would Epictetus do in this situation? Epictetus would have said, memento mori. He would have accepted these things, that all are mortal and nothing is ours forever. So it's this contemplation of what these great figures would do that can help us in difficult times. We see religious people have those bands, the "What Would Jesus Do" bands. I remember a lot of people wearing them at school when I was younger. And they would ask themselves in difficult times, what would Jesus do? I have this thing I do. I think of people right now. Someone I'm thinking of is Steve Irwin. I loved his passion for his work, his passion for life, his passion to help people, help animals. It was infectious. It was incredible. And when I start to film these videos, I realized I can oftentimes be a bit monotone. I'm a bit of a monotone person. I'm not that expressive, which isn't a bad thing. It's just the way people are. But I think with passion, when passion drives through, it can have more of an impact on people. So before I make these videos, I think, what would Steve Irwin do? He would get on here and be shouting this message at you. encouraging you and insisting that you do these exercises. So I try to take a few lessons from him. I take lessons from great historical figures. Muhammad Ali, I think he was a courageous person. I think later on in his life, he stood up for what was right. He helped people. He was an amazing person. I loved his, if you have no enemies, then no one can hurt you. Muhammad Ali had no enemies. He loved everyone. He showed grace to everyone, especially when he got older. And I remember when someone asked him, why don't you have bodyguards following you around? He says, I have no fear of people because I show love to people. These people are my brothers and sisters. And I often, in difficult times, I think about Muhammad Ali and his courage. So that's the contemplation of the sage. And it's something that's helped me because when you're faced with a challenge, you're faced with a choice, you're faced with difficulty, heartbreak, pain, suffering, grief, you can think of people you know, mentors you know, family members, historical figures, celebrities, whoever it might be, and think, how did they make it through? How would they make it through? What would they say to me right now? And it can be a light during dark times. It can be an anchor to keep you grounded during turmoil and difficulty. So that is the contemplation of the sage. So what I say to you is just write this exercise down, the contemplation of the sage. Remember it. Maybe write a few people down that you want to aspire to be like, that you want to base your characteristics off, and you just keep them in mind. And the next time you go about your day, think, like I do, how would Steve Irwin tackle this? How would whoever you admire, how would my mum approach this situation? How would my uncle wake up and be a bit more enthusiastic and help people today? It's a good guidance. So that's what you do. Write down a few people that you want to base your life off, you want to base your actions off today. Do it right now. Straight away after this podcast, think, how would my loving grandfather, the most loving, caring person I know, how would they treat people today? And then that's how you can go about your day. So he might send a few nice messages, and you can start right now. I want you to start right now. Don't just listen to this video and don't do anything, because that would be silly. You're just listening to me. It's just words entering your mind. I actually want you to take action. This is an action-taking thing. And that's literally what my book's about. I wrote at the end of the book, don't just read this whole book and do nothing, because that would be, it wouldn't be offensive to me. It'd be offensive to yourself, because this can help your life. So that is the contemplation of the sage. I'd like to know what sort of people you consider admirable, their traits. Leave a comment. I think that would be really interesting to hear, actually, because we're all different. We all admire people for certain things. And the more you start to do this exercise, the more you realize how incredible certain people are, how incredible the ordinary person is, the bus driver that's so friendly to everyone. There's a story where a load of people are stuck in traffic. They're on a bus, they're stuck in traffic, and a train goes by. The shutters go down and the bus has to stop, and everyone's complaining, oh my gosh, this is awful. And they see this train, and it's got hundreds of carriages, probably not hundreds, don't know, bit of an exaggeration. And they go, oh my gosh, thousands of carriages, we're going to be here forever, we're going to be late to work, this is awful, the day's ruined. And a kid says to his mom and goes, wow, Mom, look how long that train is. That's incredible. And just watches as the train keeps going by in amazement. So we can even learn from the unlikely. That kid seeing positive and what others seen as rubbish. Just an example for you. You might not want to be late to work, but at least you get to see a really long train. I think trains cool. So next exercise is the most life-changing one that I've done, and instantly life-changing. The final exercise is incredible. It's only something I've been practicing, and it has changed my life as well. This exercise is called the contemplation of death, or as we like to say, memento mori. Memento mori. I wrote a chapter on this because all must die. Memento mori means remember death, remember you are mortal, which sounds silly. And I know a lot of people might want to turn off now because death is a morbid topic. But just think, as I did when I was a young boy, the thought of death used to keep me up all night. It was a horrible thought. I just couldn't comprehend dying. And then I sat there and I thought, if I died tonight, I wouldn't know about it. That's if there's no afterlife. I wouldn't know, I'd just die. That's not bad. I didn't know life before I was born. I wouldn't know life after. But then I thought, okay, that's not bad. What if religion's right? What if they are right? Well, I'd go to paradise. Or I would live a new life, which I wouldn't even know about this past suffering. So death is nothing. Because if death is not here, then I'm alive. And if death is here, then I'm not alive to experience it. So either way, you'll be fine. Regardless, you're put at peace. So that's the realization I had. All must die, nothing lasts forever. But it's not a morbid thing because it's a fact. And when you run away from it, you live half a life. You live a shell of a life because you're not facing this fact. You're pretending, as Seneca says, that you will live forever. You're acting as if you'll live forever. And really, we don't live forever. We don't have time to waste. As Marcus Aurelius says, perfection of character is to live each day as if it were your last, without frenzy, without apathy, without pretense. So a lot of people want to rebuttal this straight away, like I did when I first heard it. But the more you consider it, the more beautiful it is. I'll give the example of me, what I like to do. Actually, I'll give the example right now. Because I'm contemplating death. I'm thinking I could die. Right now, as I'm talking to this camera, look, it made me smile. I'm talking to this camera. But in my mind, I'm already imagining an audience watching it. So I'm talking to you. And I'm thinking, I could die as I leave this room. I really could. I could die right now on the spot. And hopefully someone edits this video. But this could be my final moment. And wouldn't it be a pity if I was lamenting my life in being a robot, not concentrating, just bashing out a video, thinking, I'll just put a video out, hopefully get some views. Come on, get it done quickly. We're 14 minutes in. 14 minutes, that's quick. We're 14 minutes in, let's get this out of the way. I've got better things to do. Number one, that's called destination addiction. When you think you've got something better to do always, then when you're in something good, you'll think that something's better and you'll never appreciate what you truly have because you always think, well, something's better. The grass is always greener just down the road. It isn't. The most beautiful moment there is in the world is this present moment because it's the only thing that exists. So I'm sitting here talking to you. Yes, you. And I'm thinking, I could die right now. So I want to make this moment special. I want to put everything I can into being present and giving this message, fulfilling what I think is the best use of this current time, which I think is making this video and making it as impactful as possible, putting everything into it. And it sounds tiring. When I reflect on it and I hear that advice, it sounds like a tiring thing because when I'm on the bus, going to and from work or going somewhere on the bus and it's busy. People hate a busy bus. They think it's rubbish. They're stuck on the bus. I sit around and I think I could die right now. This bus could crash and I could die. So let's appreciate everything on this bus, the people, the families, the old couple that, I do remember this because I wrote a post about this. I remember looking around, there was an old couple, maybe they've been married 70 years. The woman was falling asleep on the man's shoulder. There was a little girl talking to her mum about dinosaurs. There was a really tall guy and his head was like touching the ceiling. And it's just these novelties that are so beautiful when you actually reflect on them. Or you can just go through life like a robot, ignoring this fact that we're mortal. But one day our time will come and you'll be sat on your deathbed and that's when you'll truly open your eyes and go, what was I doing? What was I running towards? What was I waiting for? That's what you was waiting for, the day for it to end. But if you stop waiting and appreciate the present moment, you'll look around and go, this is good. This is enough. I like this. I like what I have right here. And that because people are always waiting for this miracle in the future. If you just appreciate the present moment and be grateful for the present moment, that is your future miracle. Because when you get to the future, you'll be a person that appreciates moments even more and experiences life even more. That is the miracle. Appreciating the present moment is the greatest miracle you ever have. And I often say, because I was guilty of this for many years, thinking that there is some secret key to life that would finally, I just felt like there's something missing. When I get it, I'll be happy. When I get it, I'll finally experience life. I'll be living life truly. And I did so many great things. I traveled the world. I did all these things. But I kept thinking, when I get it, I'll know. That's when life's truly living. But the truth is, if you keep thinking that way, then even if you got given a miracle, God sent you a miracle, a genie gave you a wish, you'll be the type of person that goes, yeah, but I'm waiting for something. I'm waiting for something. You'll be in that moment being given a miracle and going, this isn't it. I'm waiting for something. Because you've developed that habit. As Epictetus said, the Greek-born crippled slave, Epictetus, this great Stoic, he said that if you want to get better at walking, walk. If you want to get better at talking, talk. If you want to get better at acting on bad habits, then do this. And that's the same. If you want to get better at waiting for life to start, if you want to get better at waiting for a miracle and not appreciating the present moment, then keep doing it. But if you want your future to be filled with someone that's grateful and takes control of life, then do it right now. It's a practice. It takes a while, but it only happens from doing it in this present moment. Memento mori. Remember, this is a gift. And something I've been thinking about recently is like, this isn't just an amazing gift that we have this life. It's an amazing gift that in the billions of years, the span of the universe and then the span of humanity is we got placed right here and we got it. I don't know how. It doesn't even make sense. I think it's 1 in 400 trillion, but we're here and we can appreciate it. We can experience life with its ups and downs, its pain, its suffering, its beauty, the love, the heartache, the everything. Because, it's like the story of the man who died. And as he was, at the pearly gates, he prayed, he said to God, please, just give me one chance. I just want to go back. I just want to experience it. The heartache, the beauty, the monotony. I want everything. I just want to feel it all again. I want to experience this just one more time. Please, God, just give me this. This will be my heaven. Give it me. And anyway, when this guy was reborn, he remembered this fact. He said, I prayed to God. I begged for this. And if you imagine it, you begged God to be put here one more time to experience it all, then even when the pain happens, you say, I'm experiencing this life. I'm feeling it. And the beauty will come. The waves will go down and up, and you'll experience all the dips, all the highs, the mountaintops, the valleys. You'll experience everything. So that's a really good thing to think sometimes, is that you begged God, you begged the universe to be here. Before you was born, you said, please just put me on this earth. Let me experience it. I'm ready for the pain. I'm ready for the heartache, but I also want to see the beauty. I want to see it all. So the second exercise is the contemplation of death. And I do have a Memento Mori calendar that you can get in the description. It's a very powerful, I don't know if they might be out of focus, they're behind me. It's a very powerful tool for contemplating your own death. Is every week you just fill in one of those boxes, and that's a week of your life gone. And the way this works is it's a powerful reminder when you're actually filling in that box. But then every time you look at it, I just got to make sure I'm talking into the mic. Every time you look at it, it reminds you that your time is finite. And when you see that unfilled square, you go, I'm going to fill this square in better. I'm going to fill it with more. This square is going to be so filled with life. Because if that's the final square you ever scribble out, you'll be happy. You'll go, I lived life. I really, really did. I didn't leave any stone unturned, any page unread. I did it all. No regrets. No regrets. And the final exercise, which I love this exercise, it's something I only learned recently, fully recently, is decatastrophizing. So this exercise is such a powerful tool, and it is life-changing. So what we humans often do is we catastrophize. So if someone is rude to us, we say that they're a dick, they're a horrible person, they hate us, they're our enemy. If we lose our job, we say this is a tragedy, catastrophe, this is the worst thing that could ever happen. When we're about to do a challenge, we say it's impossible, I can't make it through this, life is punishing me, God wants to see me suffer. We make up these stories, we catastrophize the event. You know, if someone hurts themselves, you know, they hit their head, we say they've smashed their head, they've severe accident, when really they just bumped their head. Your boss firing you, as the Stoics would do to break it down. Boss fired you. Your life's not over. It's not the worst thing to happen. What else is there? You could get a new job, new opportunities. Through language, we catastrophize, and we catastrophize our lives. And I'd do this when I was younger. I'd say, I can't get out of this situation. I'm stuck. This is all that life can offer me. Life is horrible. I hate life. And these words just create the narrative of your life. So you start to change it. You start to decatastrophize. And there's a story of there was a voyage, and there was a Stoic, famous Stoic on this voyage, and you know they're sailing, and then there's a huge storm, and you know everyone thought they was going to die on that ship. It was terrible, so I hear. And the Stoic, this great Stoic, known for his strength of character, was getting shaky and went pale. And anyway, everyone was panicking, going crazy, and everyone survived. And someone came up to the Stoic after and said, I don't mean to offend, I actually want to understand is you teach of not getting scared, you teach of not fearing, you teach of courage. But when you was on that ship, I could see you was shaking, you was pale, you looked like you was about to throw up. And the Stoic says, yeah, we can't control these feelings. We get scared, we get anxious, we get fear, we get worry. These are natural. They arise in us, these feelings. But it's what we do with them after. So I see around many of you felt the ship sinking, felt the ship in the waves, and you probably catastrophize, saying that this is an awful storm, we're going to die here, we're going to be lost at sea, I'll never get to see my family, this is over, how can I die in a storm? But I seen what was happening. We're on a storm, and that is it. I didn't catastrophize, I got on with it. And I didn't panic. You didn't see me panic, you didn't see me thrashing about, you didn't see me screaming like the rest of you. Yes, I was worried, but that's natural. I didn't make it worse. And this is what people do in difficult situations. They panic. If someone's hurt, they're like, "Oh no, so much blood! They could die. We need to quickly get into the ambulance. Quick, rush! Oh no, what if they die? What if they die? What if it's my fault?" Or you see what's happened. They've hurt themselves. Okay, paramedic. They've hurt themselves. You explain exactly what's happened because that's the best information you can give to them, and then we deal with it. Because panic doesn't help. Even the victim, the person that's hurt himself, if you panic, it'll make them panic, get their heart racing, which isn't good. You want them to be relaxed. You want them to not be scared. So decatastrophizing, which is the opposite of catastrophizing. You want to be aware of your language. If a challenge is put in front of you, you explain what's been put in front of you. I'm trying to think of a challenge. Hey, writing this book, right? I've never wrote a book before. And I could have easily, like I've done in the past, when I've tried to do big things like this, I could have sat there and gone, I can't write a book. I'm not an author. I can't write a whole book, 300 pages. It's impossible. Like, I don't even understand the narrative. This doesn't even make sense. How am I, me, William, supposed to write a book? This is impossible. I'm no writer. I'm just a regular guy. I didn't get an education. I got some education, but I didn't get a advanced education. I didn't learn writing. I didn't do good in English. And I'm telling myself this narrative through catastrophizing, making it worse than it is, making it into an impossible task. And when you do that, an impossible task, then this will never be written, because the resistance on impossible, if something is impossible, then the resistance is like a skyscraper, because you believe it's impossible. What's the point in even starting? But I just said, I'm just writing words. I'm just writing words. And I think I made a video on this, on how I wrote the book. No, I haven't. I tried to make a video, but it didn't. There was a problem with the media. So I will make a video on that, on how I wrote this book. But the premise is, I just need to write some words, get my thoughts down there. What's the goal of the book? To help people. How? Through Stoic practices that helped me. Why? Because I believe that all people deserve to flourish. They deserve to become the best version of themselves, for them, for their loved ones, and for the world around them. I think that should be all right for everyone. And yes, not everyone's given that. Probably 1% of people are given that gift. But I think everyone deserves it, because everyone's capable of flourishing. So I wanted to write the book. I just wrote some words, and then started to develop a plan on how it would happen. And eventually it starts to formulate. It's not an impossible task to write some words. Really not. And you start to develop, and you find out a new challenge. You go, oh, how do I structure it? And you go, I don't know, I can learn how to structure. Anyway, decatastrophizing. And it's an exercise you can do. Oh, just for the previous exercise, because I actually want you to take control and take action, is if either you can read my chapter on Memento Mori in my book, which would require you getting my book. So you could do that, which is one example, or you can get the audiobook and listen to it. Or a book, physical copies I prefer, because you can keep going over it, you can sort of make notes. Or you can get a Memento Mori calendar, or like what I do most of the time, and I'm doing right now, which is free. So this is the free option, is you can just think, what if this was my last moment? Wouldn't I want it to be a beautiful moment? Wouldn't I want to appreciate life? Wouldn't I want to be here fully in the present? Yes, I would. Just think about that. So you can go for any of those ways of practicing this. But right now, you can just think, right now, as you're listening to me speak, maybe you're sat on a bus, maybe you're sat at home, maybe you're sat at work, whatever you're doing, maybe you're on a walk. If you're on a walk, actually no, because walks are easy to appreciate. Imagine you sat at home in your boring room, as people say, and you go, this is it, my final moment. Whoa, look at the way it's not even sunshine, because sunshine's easy to appreciate. It's nighttime. Whoa. Look at the street lamp casting a shadow through my window. That looks cool. Not amazing. Whoa, I can hear the birds at night. That's quite beautiful. It's not the best thing to imagine, but it's a good thing you can appreciate. Well, I can hear my mum downstairs cooking dinner. It's late, but she's cooking dinner. I wonder what she's up to. It's amazing. I live in this house with my mum. I'm trying to think of all the things you can appreciate in just a boring room. Look at this warm bed you've got. Lay in this nice warm bed. Appreciate the moment. The silence of the night. That's what I like about nighttime. It feels like there's no responsibilities as you lay there, 2 a.m. The world's asleep. It doesn't demand anything of you. Just it goes by quietly. You can look out your window and see the nighttime. You might see some animals, some nocturnal animals that you don't see in the day. I love it when you see a fox at night. It's just a little treat. Maybe you see a badger. It's not, in America you'll probably see like coyotes or something, or a bear. I don't know. But just appreciate this present moment, because it is beautiful. And if you can't see the beauty in it, then you'll struggle to see the beauty in your future or different situations. I remember a quote from Claire Wineland. If you can't be happy with what you got, you won't be happy with what you get. And her videos actually changed my life many years ago. I really recommend listening to her videos. She's passed away now, sadly, quite a few years ago now. but her videos still remain and still help people. And that's something I find beautiful, actually, is her videos have helped me so much. I know they still help people. My brother, I speak to him about her videos sometimes. Sometimes they just pop up and you're reminded of how beautiful her message was and how much they can help people. But yeah, just appreciate this present moment. And final exercise was decatastrophizing. So the way you can practice that now is just think back to certain situations or a situation you go in and think about your language, how you're treating that. So if you're in a situation right now, think how you're treating that. Are you catastrophizing it? Are you making it worse than it needs to be? Because it's serious. It really has an impact on the actual event and how it's interpreted. Because it's not things that disturb us, it's our interpretation of things. So keep an eye out on how you're interpreting things. Hopefully, these 3 exercises help you. Let me know if you're doing them. I want you to do them. So maybe leave a comment saying done or doing. And I'd love to know your thoughts on my book. I've been getting some really good messages that really make me happy. I like to know that it's helping people. And that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing people message me that it's helping them, which is amazing. And I'm very thankful for everyone that's spending their own money to get this book. And I just really hope it helps. So if you want to support me, then subscribe to the Spotify episodes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday with myself and guests, which, is good. I don't think there's enough Stoic podcasts. Actually, I always struggle to find them. So I thought, let me make some, say the things that I always wish I heard from people. So subscribe to the Spotify, maybe go to Instagram. You can find my Instagram at The Everyday Stoic, at William Mulligan Brother. Feel free to send me messages if you have any questions. I always try my best to answer people's questions. I just hope you have a wonderful day. And actually use these exercises to improve your life. Don't just listen to me. I'm not just here to listen to. If you was here to just listen to someone, then you could listen to a comedy podcast or some music like the Beatles or the Rolling Stones or something. I'm not here just to listen to. I'm here to give advice, and hopefully you can take that advice. Because this isn't just coming from me. Those exercises are from the ancient Stoics, believe it or not. They sound like modern exercises. They are from the ancient Stoics. So use these exercises. Oh, and today's episode was powered by Huel. Huel is a quick, affordable, nutritiously complete food with everything that your body needs. I really love Huel, and I love their meals. I love their drinks. But more importantly, I love their meals because they taste delicious, they're healthy, and when I have them, when I'm busy, it stops me from going to the shops, buying some unhealthy snacks, spending loads of money. It just satisfies me with something tasty and healthy. And that's the truth. They are tasty and healthy, delicious and quick, and it just breaks that cycle of me going to the shop buying something unhealthy. So thank you for watching, and I don't know if anyone would make it this far because I've kind of done like 3 outros, but my book is available on Amazon. It's available in most bookstores in the UK, and it's coming to the US and America this month. US and America, US and Canada. And it's coming to many more countries. I've got a list. There's 14, maybe, languages, 12 languages, 13 languages. Anyway, it's a lot. It's overwhelming, actually. It's to think that my book is being translated into 13 languages and countless regions and countries that will be available in. So thank you to everyone please leave a review. If you've read the book, a review on Amazon would really help, because, people see these reviews, shops and marketers see the numbers go up. They see that it's number 1. It's not number 1. But if they seen that it was like number 10 or something, then they would be like, okay, this is something to get behind. Because, the more support I can get, the easier it is to make these episodes and to improve on these episodes, and to get better guests and to be able to spend more time doing this, delivering these lessons to you and studying, because it takes a lot of study, but I love it. I do love it. So thank you to everyone supporting me, and I hope you have an awesome, beautiful day. Thank you.